in case. So the plan for tonight is I wanted to finish a piece I'd started working on, or I had been working on in a previous stream, which was another synth type of piece, and I'm not sure if I need to do much after that. I think I just need to sort of do some mastering effects on it, and then after that would probably I don't know open another piece, or it's gonna be sort of a short stream anyway. It's what is it? It's 9:30 here. We'll probably stream for another hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. We should get enough done. Let me just load up things. Which should I use? Monitor one here. Is that enough? Or the 4-screen? That might be weird. Actually, you know what? I'm looking at them here. I got these Volca, Korg Volca racks, and might play with that afterwards. I've been threatening to do that, but for now, let me just load up this guy instead. Okay. So it was the piece that I used for the LGR Grand Theft Audios, and I wanted to flesh it out. I don't know if you remember the last time I worked on it. I imported it from Asset Pro. That wasn't without problems, and we were able to work from that. What I ended up doing is redoing on a lot of the CD's audio tracks. I actually re-imported. I've silenced them except for some areas where I wanted some highlights, and I've re-imported the actual MIDI. So I exported the MIDI straight from Asset Pro and pretty much copied the settings and the presets for each VST, and just so that took a while, but that's the only bit of work I've done on it. I think the last time I was looking for oh no, I think I added as well some of these strings. I don't know who's in the chat, if we have a few just people lurking or being silent or whatever, so I don't know if you're familiar with it or if you remember. Don't like this kick. I'm gonna have to do some research on getting a kick right, because I'm not happy at all with this kick, but I'm wondering, could we get it replaced with something else? Which one am I using here? This one would have a bit more oomph. Maybe a combination of both? Where I thought I copied you there. Copy. There you go. And then we just make it easier. Consolidate all this track so it's all one. Come on. Athagoran, good evening. We're working on that old piece we'd started working on, you know, the LGR Odwar piece I'd started a while back, a good while back now. Actually, would I move the MIDI here? No. And move this and just combine those two kicks together. This one has a bit more. And this one has a bit more bite, and the other one has a lot more bass. Let's just drop the EQ actually. Oh yeah, very often you'll see very often like that you combine the same line on different instruments and you just mix the EQ, like you just EQ the instruments differently, or you have them on different, slightly different instruments, and you bring out the best of both instruments just to have the right mix of stuff you want. So here, this would be the main kick, but here I just add that. And there, I'm only really interested in the higher frequency on this one, so oh, what have I done? No, that was the wrong EQ on the wrong instrument. Yeah, it's a lot less boomy. Cook Chicory, how are you doing? A kick is one of the toughest thing to EQ I find, because if it doesn't work, it just doesn't work. You know, sometimes it can be a bit too boomy. Like it sounds fine on its own. You're going, oh yeah, this is the this is a fine kick, and I you know, you'd love that, and then you put that in the mix, and now it just sounds way too bassy and boomy. So if actually it doesn't too bad here, but I still need those. We need those highs. Like a lot of people think the kick is all bass, but there's a ton of highs that you want to come through an entire mix. So you really need to. And some people have like 3 different kicks together, and then they had like ton of effects. And I actually have a few here on this one as well. So yeah. Actually, no, that's the bass. What am I doing? Hey, Terrible Fire. Sorry, I didn't see you in the chat there. So what I've added since the last time we were working on this is all these, a lot of strings on different instruments. I was using Vacuum Pro and Serum. So we have this guy. With a heavy sidechain, I have this playing the same stuff. On the Serum, as you can see, it's the same line. It's just I'm using different instruments just to get something full. Same here. I've added these things as well. These little echoey bits that sound way in the background. Yeah, the pulsing is just the sidechain, so it's just a sidechain on the kick. So it dips the overall sound. And it has the characteristic pulsing effect that, you know, a lot of synthwave or EDM would have. But this is way in the background. So I have this, I have another layer here, like I have multiple layers of these. Oh, you've worked on the MSX already, wow. Anyway, so this is what I added. This is the last time. I think that was it. I found the MIDI as well for the bass. So that bass I'm not entirely happy with. So what I have on this is just the Tyrell. I added a sidechain compressor onto the kick. But it feels a bit... And I added a trans gate on top of things, but I'm not sure now if it's strictly needed. Because if I... I just want to control on that last, so I have the sidechain compressor. I just want to control on that last note, and this is essentially what I'm doing here. I'm just muting the last note, and I'm just trying to get the... So this is all sidechain compressor with added transgate, which is a bit too much. I was just trying to get something crisp. What the hell? Oh, I know what happened there. Why are you doing this here? Okay, automation, stop, stop, stop. Why? This is the part I don't like with the automation in Ableton Live. Once you start moving in automation, all these, especially the volume, that puts another layer of session automation. Yeah, silly. Ooh. What happened all of a sudden there? Why is my kick all on? And why is it? Hello, phone. Where did I mess up here? I need to re-change all of this. because in my I use a kick here as well, don't I? No. Here, let's move this a bit more. I never noticed. Is that my ears or? I mean, I see the kick is only on the beat, but it sounded fuller earlier. Did I miss something? Like, did I? I think it's because I only have it on one. Let's fix that anyway. You have me on the lab monitor speaker. So, yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be. Yeah, it's better. Cowbell here. The cowbell was part of the plan since the beginning. No, I think it was who was it? Was it Fixato that said it needs more cowbell as a joke? So it's like, all right, you want some cowbell? We'll put some cowbell. So we put some cowbell in. On some part, I have it here as well. For it's hidden in the background, but it just adds to the effect. The actual effect I use here is this guy, which can't remember. Oh yeah, so this was a helicopter sound, obviously heavily processed, with a pumper, a transgate, and a harmonizer thing. This is it. Or a wannabe helicopter sound. So you put a harmonizer here, and it actually just extracts the frequencies out of it, and just you can set them to a certain pitch. So I have them on, what is it, D minor, D sharp minor, very low, it's very low in the mix. I have another filter just to extract stuff and make it louder, and I put a transgate on it. That KH transgate is probably the coolest, and is it free? Might well be a piece of effect, and handy piece of effect that you can put, because you can actually just select which part is being played. And right now it re-triggers, but you can have it continuous. Or, you know, you can do all sort of stuff, and then just have it timed to different time signature, and yeah, it's super handy, very useful. You can you can have multiple ones and trigger those as well with automation. A really handy piece of kit, and quite simple. And then you can set the attack, delay, decay, sustain, and release, and how much of it goes into the mix. So either none, anyway, so that, and combined with just other stuff. So what was that effect? Oh yeah, and those. That's a drum. It's a drum played backwards. So if you reverse that. There you go. It creates cool effects. You do that with cymbals as well, just to bring up that tension before a big cymbal. Have I got some here? Yeah. Here. This guy. I think this is a gunshot of sort, or an explosion. It's like whatever works. Anyway, cowbell coming up, and what else? Yeah, so that bass, that's better, isn't it? And that little sound, sorry, I'm interrupting, but that little line actually adds a ton of just little background stuff that actually make that whole part not as long and repetitive as it might sound. I have a side chain on that as well. Have I got one on this? Oh, this is muted. No. Hello. Oh yeah, I have it way super. Oh, this is actually okay. This is the audio extract I did of this before I exported the MIDI instead. So I have that muted. It looks like I only have it. On some places. Why did I do that? Maybe for extra volume. And because it's an export, the quality, sound quality isn't exactly the same. Here I'm playing straight the Tyrell VST straight, and this is an export. It sounds good even. Slightly. One thing I could do is actually, because here I introduced bass in this instrument, so normally it plays. So maybe we could duplicate that and just have the bass on one of them. Let's consolidate all that into one MIDI. Should have done that anyway. And here we're just gonna take out. Whoa, whoa. And maybe set it to a different instrument, so doesn't seem like it saved whatever I did. Okay, let's just remove this altogether. Who is making my phone buzz like that? Oh, WhatsApp. Because now we can work on the levels separately. When those basses come in, they really like rise the tune to a different level altogether. Like this is okay. Those subs are pretty cool though. Ryoban. Is it Ryoban or Ryoban? I would say... I'd be tempted to say Ryoban. I probably asked you that already, didn't I? We're doing some EQing tonight on this piece. I do like the granularity of this. Do. The danger is to overload this with stuff and frequencies that we don't quite need, because all we don't need that granularity, that noise. It's fine on its own, but in the mix it'll just make things too muddy, and we like that sort of boom. Like if we add too much highs, it'll actually take sound space from the all the synths, all the chord synths and that kind of stuff. So would we actually benefit by just having this just an octave higher? Or you know what, I think Oh, sound is crackling. Is it crackling on your side? Is it? Music is so cool, but you get what you want. There are so much details. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Well, and with stuff like synths, you can get very, very particular. I'm not as well, that's not true. I'm just as obsessed with EQing, but it just that's the difference between something that can sound. You can actually make something that sounds to a really much better. No cracking, so it's just on my side. That's fine. I can deal with that. Something that sounds okay-ish to a proper sort of studio type recording, you know. You won't make the playing sound any better, but you can actually just enhance the sound so much and well that people will overlook the playing, which is what I'm hoping happens with my covers. So one thing we can do instead of having the low octave on this is bring out the subs. And then works much better than, I think, than this. Or does it? Oh yeah. Oh, bass, you're gone from there. I think we can do away with this guy. Just have that. Okay. Okay. We actually, I got distracted by this guy, but I wanted to check as well what this was. This automation volume, track volume. Okay, there you go. So I have this. Just for volume, do we need it? One thing I'm noticing is there's no compressor on this, so we're just gonna copy the compressor from here. We still hear this slightly in the background. I have it much more present at the beginning. It fades in. Do you know, it's yeah, I was gonna skip it. Maybe in places like that, it just adds that line. Ooh. Yeah, it works, but I hear it now. I'm trying to remove it, but I yeah. Well, I'm glad we separated that bass now. What is that? That guy, you shouldn't be there. That guy. Why are you there and why are you somewhere else? Yeah. It's a clap. Why is there a clap here? Can you hear it? This fella. I have it. Oh no, okay. But this guy somehow is super loud. Not you, but you. You've got the clap. You muppet. I don't know why stuff like that makes me laugh. Yeah, can you hear it too? Here. I've magical ears. Sure, you could hear it as well. I suppose when I pointed it to you, you could hear it. But see, remember, this is my mix, so there's everything I expect. I expect stuff to sound a certain way or not to sound a certain way. Let's just do it. How do I... No, not you. How do I zoom the... Can I on... No, never mind. Let's... So all these claps were just sounding way too... well, two of them sounded way too loud, and indeed they were. I'm just looking if there's any... so this is the velocity. It's how loud, in this case, how loud those MIDI notes are. So I'm just looking now on these claps, which are the MIDI notes, if any of them are out of place. Sorry, on this timeline here. Something here that's... something here funny. How do I play this section again? I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Come on, Adobe Premiere. Let me just play this section. Not from here. There you go. Oh no, it's outside the loopable section. So I think we're good. I know. Consolidate. There. Now what's out of place is with some guy here. We're good. And this guy here. Ha. That was another one. Just play the fucking note. And just there I was thinking you could spend a whole day without a Fatted reference. But see those little details, like I have to spend time on the covers ironing them out as well, because like you're hearing this once, but over you know people will listen to them a few times or most days, you know, in a certain stream or something like that. But or they'll have it in the playlist, or somebody will just spot it anyway because of the sheer numbers, you know. So if there is a mistake like that, somebody will spot it, and the last thing I want to see in comments is, "Oh, you missed something," or "By the way." So that's why I agonize, because stuff like that then just it screams, you know, every time you hear it. Like it ruins a piece, and the problem with YouTube is you can't. Once something is uploaded, it's uploaded. You can't actually change the audio or add modifications to it. Hey, Fiona. So so yeah, so that's why I need to spend the time fixing them as I spot them, and spend a lot of extra time on kind of mastering and EQ and that kind of stuff. But yeah, you know, this is like, for example, like I wanted to release the cover this week, and I haven't, because I'm not happy with the mastering. It lacks something. I can show it to you later on. Like, it's not. I've announced it's a remake of some of the Super Mario Land tunes anyway, so you know what the tune is. But I'm not happy with the EQ yet, and it's been fighting me all this time. Oh, no. Save. It's been fighting me all this time for the mastering itself, the EQ on the mastering. So yeah, I need to spend more time, and I've given it a rest for now. Usually you give it a like 24-hour rest or 48 hours, and you come back to it with fresh ears. That's the best way. So here as well, I have all these cool effects like this. Certain chimes with a ton of echo, so it sounds very very distant. But these are the chimes that I got from the stream. And just you add. Where's my effects gone? Yeah, a ton of echo. Anyway, this is I don't know. Acid Pro, why you're fighting me like that for stuff. Also, hey Fiona, what have we here? I got various effects that I processed through various different stuff. Glass slide. I forgot what this was. I think this was an effect from a. Right, phone. Go away. So a ton of these stuff just for texturing. And that we went over that, so stuff you wouldn't necessarily hear, you know, on their own, but just as a whole, it just adds all the texturing and the kind of, yeah, just ambiance, and texturing is so important in a piece, you know. Now you hear it. I've pointed it out to you so you hear it, but I bet at the beginning you probably didn't hear all of that. Okay, so I think I'm happy with the levels as they are and individual tracks. like we've been working on this for the past hour, and you know, this was just on details, really. You recorded yourself playing the Pat by Gustavo Sa. Oh wow! The only thing you did was adding a reverb to the solo part. Well, there's many ways you can enhance a piece. Sometimes it's just fine as it is on its own, you know. Let's rest our ears on this, and then we can do the EQ and general mastering afterwards. I was just gonna load the maybe that Super Mario track. Open recent set. I don't really stick to a schedule. Don't. Yeah, no, I don't have a schedule for most things. How are you doing, Vampire? So this is a Mario track. By the way, this is all the tracks in a cover typically. And I just said it play. So I'm not happy with the EQ. That's why I haven't released anything this week, cover wise, and I released that Norm one. I kind of scrambled to finish it. The radio has a schedule. Yeah, that's about the only thing that has a schedule with me, and that's subject to whatever. So far, I've been pretty good at having it every day. And you won't hear anything because I need my real stream plugin actually. Subject to hangovers, something like that, yeah. Well, starting time is subject to hangovers. Plugins, we're looking for restream. So I'm using two. Actually, I'm using two screens here. Just bear with me. We're looking for a local broadcast. So yeah, all this not entirely. It's just the EQ in general. Can you hear this? So that bass, you love the U bass. I actually don't love it at all on this this recording, and it's very often I need to re-record stuff like that. It's something that doesn't sit well with me on this. Probably over EQ'd it as well. That doesn't help, but I think I need to redo the entire EQ of each track. See, now it's too boomy. There's a lot of background noise as well on it. You know what I think happened on this one is I probably had, because I have another mic down there and I forgot to turn it off when I recorded the U-bass, and it probably picked way too much background noise. You can hear that background noise actually. You shouldn't hear. Like that's background noise being picked up by a mic, a similar mic, and I think it's this one, or it could have been this one, because the U-bass normally recorded plugged in directly. Yeah. So there's that I need to redo. What else is there? Oh, that was fine. Tried noise reduction on it. It's a poor recording. When I say you can fix a lot of stuff in post production, it's true, but this is just a dirty recording. Really, there's too much noise in it, and even noise reduction will lose a lot of the essence of the bass. Then, like a de-esser, stuff like that. You can see this. We can do that, but then it sounds all muffled, and we lose. Like, interesting enough, like what I crank up on the bass is not actually the lows typically. It's actually just the mid highs, not the full highs, but the mid highs, to add a bit of just a bit of juice on the bass, because it's just tons of lows anyway. So the texture comes from the highs. So here we just lose all that. It's okay. It's just I'm just not happy with it. So I might just re-record it all together. So there's stuff like that. I think some of my recordings were probably off. You fall asleep, so sorry. Good work and good night. That's no problem. Thank you, Linkley, and thanks very much for being in the streams every day. And good to see you talk a bit, because you usually pass, you say hi. But thank you very much for being here. That's the Andy's keyboard. I think that's fine. It sounds slightly off key at times, but off key is not too much of a problem. It can add a little bit of a character to a piece. You wonder if the gaming historian will respond to the video. Oh, I sent it to him privately before I even released it, and he said he loved it, so I'm not worried about that part. I always send it to the people before, just to make sure that they're okay, and ask their permission to release it on the channel. And I explicitly say that, you know, if they're not happy with it, I won't tell anyone I was even working on something, you know. And I won't say that so and so said no ever. So it's happened, and I won't tell you who said that, because it wouldn't be fair, you know. And I understand that some people are more sensitive than others. Yeah, no, he's seen it and he's cool with it. He's cool with it. Normie's cool, and he's not afraid of being a bit naughty. Another problem here is probably this. I heavily EQ'd the mandolin already, but sometimes you need to do more than that, because there's so many. Because I use a lot of string instruments, and they have a ton of highs in general. So reducing the highs drastically is you can very often afford to do that. That's the mandolin. Another thing is that there's no EQ on that at all. can see the original. I've heavily EQ'd that already. These guys are... okay, I didn't look. I didn't know you could do that, and I'm not sure how I did that. Oh, interesting. I learned something tonight. Oh yeah, the double, the stereo recording. Yeah, but that's an old studio. For backing, it's for backing. You just here you can see I send it like totally to the right, totally to the left. It's funny they don't do percentages here. It's like 50. 50 is full. It's 100%. But I do that on most accompaniment here. But it just adds more presence. And then for leads, it's typically I do like between 60 and 50 60 and 30%. It depends on the instrument and what effect I'm trying to get. But here it would be what 20. Oh god, I can't do maps right now. But it'd be 40% altogether, right and left. It adds more strength and body to the instrument. And because each side is slightly, you see the levels aren't quite the same, it just adds a lot more dynamic to the instrument. That's actually much more interesting, and just makes it sound a lot more live. I mean, it's fine like that. It's just... Whoop. 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 We can cut that. It's one of the most important stuff you learn from one of your sound production YouTube videos. Oh, the one with the guitar, the backing. Next thing is that it's just too aggressive. Yeah. Bollocks. I bet you this is not going to restart because it's done that to me And typically live is good at saving for you and getting recovery modes. Then there you go. But on this specific error, I've had it twice where it doesn't want to restart and actually gives me an error, and I think that's going to happen again. Storing the live set. Oh. Okay, let's see. This is why I switched to Ableton Live. First, it crashes very rarely, and then second, it can recover a lot of your work. So let's just check what did it save the EQ on. I actually forgot what we did. What were we working on before the accordion? Oh, we had that. This guy, these guys. It's muted for you now. Interesting. This doesn't reset properly. You should have heard that now. No. That's interesting. Why? Is that better? We're gonna save at every click now. Did it save our bass? I think so, yeah, okay. At least we saved some work. And it was this guy as well. Yeah, I think we're okay. And the only one we wanted to do was that accordion. I think the same thing happened here. I had the proper mic recording, but I must have had the other mic because this is not. There's a lot of stuff being picked up. It's late, you need to sleep. That is fair enough. Ryaban, have a good night, and sure, we'll talk tomorrow. You know what? This is actually great because we wanted to clear our heads of that synth tune, and we actually did some EQing. The EQing I wasn't able to do a few days ago, or wasn't getting right. We actually cleaned a lot of stuff here. The danger is doing too much at once, so I am going to leave that for now and come back to it. a lot of times, like you see all this empty space, a lot of time I cut that, like here, just to, because sometimes you can hear the fingers or repositioning or even breathing. So very often I just cut those empty spaces. Earlier on there was a little bit of noise from, what was it? Was it the bass that we I just decided to cut out because it was just oh, what was it? I can't remember now. But yeah, we cut it out from another section. So anyway, let's save this. Let's go back to our tune and do the EQ on that. I think on the other one, because I spent so much time... See, that's the other thing. If I had spent a proper amount of time, which I hadn't, on this guy, EQing and getting the sound for each of these instruments right, I wouldn't have been struggling with any of that. It would have been rather straightforward and simple enough. Just to give you an idea, like the overall sound. If you cut out all the effects, limiter, the compressor, all that. So this is almost as raw as it gets. There's a little bit of an individual EQ, obviously, and the echo. So just added a compressor. It's not much, but it helps gel the different levels together. Bit more presence. It's going to bring everything at slow slightly higher up, and on the other end of a limiter, so that stuff doesn't peak and doesn't get too high. So it sort of compresses our sound high and up like that. It's muted again. Oh yeah, of course it's muted because Realstream. I muted Realstream. Sorry. So this is dry. You're going to cook chicory. Fair enough. Have a good night. So compressor brings everything low, a bit higher, not by much. Limiter will limit our sound. So now we've got a sort of slightly compressed band. Little bit of delay just to add some presence, not a ton. This is not a futuristic or high octane type of tune. It just adds a bit more sort of room presence. You can barely hear it. Same with the reverb. Little bit of echo and delay. What am I saying? Not this is the delay, and I had the reverb on top of the delay. Sometimes I do the opposite. I have reverb first, and I want to delay the reverb. In this case, I just want to delay the instrument, and had that sort of closed room effect with the reverb. Very often I use delay more than reverb, or if I want a certain type of a clearer reverb than reverb gives me, I use a delay. I use reverb sparingly or just for effects, like in the Hollow Knight cover, and I use the delay a lot more than reverb because it gives you a lot clearer and much more control over exactly what you want. Especially in an overall mix, it gives me more control. Reverb I would add on kind of long strings like accordion. I'll add a ton of reverb, so it just gels the chords together. Yeah, for specific effects. So then I have the EQ, which I'm not entirely happy about. Sorry, let's go back. Bring out those basses, and I can actually crank them up slightly more. That mandolin is a bit too high, like too in volume. Alright, so next thing I have is this ozone imager, and it helps me create a wider sound. So I have that mix. I have, almost everything I'm happy with. they will sort of create a stereo effect on the sound, which spreads everything right and left, but not just right and left, but in front of you, and it will create just a spatial kind of soundscape. So that you can select the width and how much stereo you want. It's actually a very, very powerful and useful plugin. I use it pretty much on everything, just to create that presence. So without, it sounds okay. With, if we without. And that's it. That's pretty much. I use that setup pretty much every time on every piece I work on. One of the reasons is because I like it. It works for me, but also it's for consistency. I can put stuff in an album that sort of sounds more or less the same, you know. Anyway, so that's that. I'll come back to this tomorrow, hopefully. And let's do the EQ on the other guy. Now it's in my head all night. I was gonna do some Korg Volca stuff as well, but I don't think we'll have time. Got distracted a few times here tonight. I'm just gonna bring my Another thing I try to do is use, for the longest time on Acid Pro, I used the stock plugins, and I'm trying to do that as well on Acid Pro. One of the reasons is they work perfectly fine as they are. I do have, like, for EQ, Fab Filter and all these kind of stuff, but it's good practice to learn EQing on simpler tools, and then maybe afterwards move on if you feel a need for it to more complex and expensive tools. But me, as far as I'm concerned, I find these stock plugins more than enough. The only ones I use are the kilohertz for the delay and the compressor, just because they're, again, like you've seen the interface, they're so, like, simple and easy. And in fact, the limiter I probably could use kilohertz as well. But these guys are so simple. There's no fancy shenanigans or anything like that. If you look at the delay, for example, on the stock delay for this, I mean, That's the stock plugin on Acid Pro. I don't think that's intuitive. I don't think that's... What are we doing? You know, you just want a little bit of delay, and this is the delay plugin. Look at that. Simple. How many you can have it in seconds, or sync it to whatever beats per, you know, per bar. Ping pong on and off, what amount of feedback, and ducking the volume, pan and mix, and that's all you really want and need, really, to give you the right amount of control on this, especially on a track delay or on a master delay. It's not going to help you master better, and it's going to confuse you more than anything, really. Yes, very self-explanatory. So the way I would work is I'd work the compressor first. It's going to be arbitrary at this stage. Like, I'm not seeing anything peaking here on the master anyway. So maybe just so you bring the compressors so that it stops some of the peaks, and it will make up for that same amount on the lower one. So it'll bring everything pretty much higher on the low. Just add a bit more oomph and presence. And you can use that as a sidechain as well, and you can select which input to sidechain stuff on. In this case, we don't need it. It's for single tracks. Delay. Certainly not that. You know what, I'm going to use the reverb first. Sorry. I keep disconnecting this guy. I should leave it on, because that's the reason why you can hear all this chain. Sorry about that. Pete Mouse, how are you doing? That's a lot of RAM. Mario's gone from your head. God, I don't know if it's cracking from your side as well, but it's I think it's a RAM issue now at this stage. Well, it's probably a buffering. What is it? Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. As you can see, it's kind of weird after a while to just EQ, because stuff gets in your head. So it's probably good to do like I usually do a first pass on EQ mastering effects, and then give it a rest, and then try the next day. Realize I put way too much reverb or delay, or my EQ was just all over the place and that kind of stuff. But you adjust from there. That's what we did tonight on 2 tracks. And but I think it's okay as it is. One last time. forgot to add the EQ on the bass. That was the ending on the original LGR tune that I did, but I'm not sure if it should end like that. Although after a while, you can only repeat that riff for so long. Like, I don't really have a melody in it, it's just those little do-do-do-do-do-do-do, like it's there. That's really the only melody we have in this. Yeah, I think, yeah, the bass, I was missing the EQ on the bass altogether. When that bass comes in, it really needs to be like have that. I love those that Syndrome plugin. Such a cool. How do I cancel this? Oh yeah, I know. This character, there's so many presets. Anyway. And yeah, it's actually advertised as synthwave drums. Yeah, I think that bass works as it is. I think we're done. I think we're done. I'm gonna listen to it with fresh ears tomorrow. But I think we're okay here tonight. I was gonna show you something on those Volca little bits that I have. I actually loaded the Volca sample with Amiga and Commodore 64 samples, and I'm liking the sound I'm getting out of it. But is it too late? Maybe we have a few minutes. Anyway, this is saved. We'll continue this some other time. Well, I think it's done anyway, but this work? Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. This guy. Actually, let's just see. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. Which one is... I've no way of knowing if this makes a sound because my monitors always die when I do one of these streams. Probably super though. Can you hear this, folks? Yeah, you know what? I might do loud and clear. I might need to do this some other time because I have no way of knowing if it's loud or not because my monitors always die. Yeah, so I have this guy. Well, maybe I can show you. I have this. I have a number of kicks from the Commodore. This is one of them. That's from the Amiga. And then I have some bass elements and just little arpeggio bits. And then I've some of the chords. Anyway, so yeah, I think I selected some of them. So maybe we can just sit so we can just go maybe have the kick. Is there a better kick? Actually, this cool and bassy. So we just write it here and here and here and here and we have all anything. Okay. Wrong instrument. Okay, maybe I need to spend a bit more time on this. So I just want to, there you go. So we'll establish our kick drum. A bit faster. better. And then I have the bass here, okay bass. So I think I probably have something in there because I was messing with it the other day. And these are synced as well, so I just need to press. Oh yeah, and enable the volume out of this. You know what? It's probably too late for me to do any stuff like that. And I actually find a better camera position for all of this because right now anyway, you get the idea. I'll figure out how to stream this properly and get the camera, maybe get my camera here angled properly, because I'm using this little guy here and it's in the way of me just accessing everything, and even this mic is in the way of me seeing stuff and accessing stuff, so I'll have to figure out a better setup. But it would be cool actually to just stream some stuff. I have one of the key step here, and I have a few of these here as well, and I've been playing with these for a bit now and just messing with it, so it's great. I like having these Amiga samples loaded in there. That's the idea. So what I've got here is one of the FM module. And what I like is you can randomize a lot of stuff. So I have it set to play certain this is what I have programmed in it, but you can set it to randomize the octaves. So the pattern is somewhat similar every time, but it's different every time as well. There's a randomizer on the key step as well. And so I'm going to use that on the Volca modular, or I might use this step sequencer. I have the keys. This is the one I fixed on the second channel. Anyway, folks, you get the idea. I'm probably not gonna do any more. First, because first because of this, I don't like the setup. The mic is not pointing the right way. I like to find. You want more? I'd have to find a proper setup, and this camera arrangement isn't great for it. So I'll see. Maybe I don't know what I have to do. I'll probably need to use this camera pointed at this. So this section here that you can see is free, and maybe instead of having this, use my other mic on a stand. Oh, I don't know. Actually, no, maybe have it up. But I mean, I've streamed for how many hours now tonight? 2 hours. It's late. I'm pretty beat, and I'm not going to start another music stream now. But you get the idea. What's the type model of what? You can do like a party stream with these things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's just the idea. Just me nerding out on this, maybe reading the chat every now and then, but just coming up with like little grooves like that. Like they're 16 step sequencer. So maybe just doing those. And my camera died. So, and the synth itself, there are Volca Korgs. These are the models. So this is the sample. Volca sample, the Volca keys here, the Volca FM, which is like an FM, like the DX synthesizers, like, you know, like any FM chip you'd find like in a Mega Drive or something. This is the Volca bass. This is just a sequencer. It doesn't do any sounds, and I'm gonna use that for this, which is the Volca modular with loads of stuff. It's like a mini Euro rack. And I was going to control this with this sequencer, but it's got a 16-step sequencer on this already, so I probably don't need this anymore. But instead, I might just control it with this Arturia Keystep Pro, and I have here the Roland GX03, which is a cool little synth, and the GU06, which is just a sort of a replica of the Juno 6, like a modern one. So I've plenty like to do just cool live music type of stuff, synth, you know, instead of the stuff I was doing there tonight. So I might use that, but I just need to find a different setup that's not like this. Well, maybe here, but different camera. Maybe use this camera instead. Have no camera on my face, or maybe use this guy over there, and then just have it. Oh, that could be cool, yeah. Actually, that would be cool. Pointed right over there. That maybe not on my. But yeah, I have the top one and the other camera just pointing at this. Yeah, there you go. Actually, that's not a bad, not a bad angle, and nerd out. So I might do that some evening. Like DJ Owly. Yeah. Yeah, people are always surprised when they find out I do synth stuff as well. And but I mean, I started with trackers, so it's hardly a surprise. Anyway, folks, that's me done for tonight. My all my cameras are dying one after the other, so and this isn't working. Anyway, this was a cool one. According to Fiona, I don't do the dishes or the cleaning. So, and she might be right. Anyway, folks, have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Oh, can we stream somebody? Oh, it's probably too late anyway. Folks, have a good night, and talk to you tomorrow in the Banjo Radio. Bye bye.